Hello, welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you I'm going to help you get started doing your program 4 algorithm. So the first thing you need to do is take a look at the program 4 instructions. So program 4, we're going to be creating a interactive program that uses programmer-defined functions. The programmer-defined functions don't have anything to do with the algorithm. So although you're going to be implementing it using programmer-defined functions, the algorithm is just understanding the logical order in which things happen, the inputs to the program, the outputs to the program. So you don't need to worry at all about how the functions are going to be, whether you're going to use printf, scanf, which functions you're going to use, all of which data types you're going to use. All you want to do in your algorithm is understand the order in which things happen, and then make sure that you get your input before you do your calculations, before you put your output, etc. So what I like to do when I'm planning my algorithm is first understand the problem. So what is the problem? We're going to be doing a gas program. So the best way to get started and understand the problem is to go down and take a look at the sample output. So let's look at what's going to happen. So we're going to welcome the user. So really the sample output is the key to understanding how the algorithm works. You're going to welcome the user. You're going to be presented with a list of available fuel options. That's all part of the welcome. So you're going to have a welcome. And then what's going to happen? You're going to set your account balance to 0. Then you're going to have these options on what to purchase. So the user is going to have options 1 through 5 on what they would like to purchase and what the price is. Then the user is going to select the type of gas that they'd like to purchase, and they're going to tell the how many gallons they would like to purchase, and then they're going to obviously not have enough money in their account, so then they're going to add money into their account until they have enough money. So they're going to have to keep adding money into their account until they have enough money. Once they have enough money, then they're going to purchase the gasoline, and they're going to enter any character to see their balance, and then the balance will be displayed and the program will end. So let's go back and look at it again. And this is why you need to write an algorithm, because you can't just jump in and write your code without an understanding of the order in which things happen. So the first thing that's going to happen is you're going to welcome the user. Then you're going to set the balance to 0. Then you're going to display the options. You're going to get the option. Then behind the scenes, you're going to have to figure out based on the option how much the gas costs. Then you're going to get the number of gallons. Then you're going to calculate the total. And then the trickiest part of this algorithm is there's going to be a loop which which continues to get money from the user until they've entered enough money. And once they've entered enough money, then you're going to make the purchase. Then you're going to end the program. So that is the algorithm. I just said it, but understanding it and saying it like that is great, but writing it down is even better. So this is the only time that I recommend that you use Word for this class. So I'm going to open up Microsoft Word and get started on my algorithm. So I'm going to just put up here my name and put here that this is COP 2220 Spring 2021 Program 4 Algorithm. And you can just put whatever header you want, because actually when you're done, you're going to name the file with a particular extension. Program 4 algorithm is gas purchasing. All right, so let's get started. So let me just fix my paragraph. I don't really need to be I can be single space, and I'm also going to make my font a little bit bigger so that you guys can see it. All right, so again, this has nothing to do with implementation. Doesn't have anything to do with printf, scanf, programmer-defined functions, nothing. It just has to do with understanding the order in which things happen. And I suggest the first time you do an algorithm that you use a numerical algorithm. You can, of course, use a flowchart, but usually when you use a flowchart, you end up spending too much time making your shapes and trying to make the flowchart and not understanding, the point of this is to understand the problem, the order in which things happen. So spending a lot of time making a pretty flowchart, which is fine, you're welcome to do a flowchart, and after the assignment deadline, I will post a sample algorithm and a sample flowchart. But for the first one, I really encourage you just to do an algorithm. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is always when I'm writing an algorithm, the first thing I do is number one, greet the user. So that's very, makes a lot of sense. Let's make this bigger. The first thing you want to do is greet the user. Then I just keep going back to my sample output here and follow along what's happening. So the first thing, I greet the user. I'm going to greet the user and actually greet the user and explain the program. And you can use your own wording in order to do that. Then number two, what is the next thing I need to do? I'm going to initialize the balance to 0. So again, if you notice, I'm not saying declare variables. I'm not saying use printf. I'm not saying use scanf. I'm not saying write a function to do this. I'm just doing what happens logically in the program. Number one, I greet the user and explain the program. Number two, I set the balance, the account balance to 0. And of course, I could have you set it to a value and be able to make the purchase right away, but I want you to be able to practice not having enough money. So that's kind of the point of the assignment, is to try to practice not having enough money. Then what is the third thing that's going to happen? Oops, sorry, opened the wrong window. The third thing is I'm going to display the different gas options, 1 through 5, the prices for the gases and the gas options. So I'm going to display the gas options and the price per gallon. Again, you can word this in your own way, but this is the idea. Then the next thing, after I've displayed them, then I'm going to ask the user to enter their selection. Then I'm going to have the user or get per gallon with a number, with an item number. That's explaining it even better. And then I will get the item number from the user. Next, I will ask the user how many gallons and get the number of gallons from the user. I'm going to ask the user how many gallons and get the number of gallons from the user. Then I will calculate the total. So let's just go over this again. Number one, greet the user and explain the program. Number two, set the account balance to 0. Display the gas options using the item number, get the item number from the user. Okay, so here is where behind the scenes, actually, I'm going to have to set the price based on the item number. So this is, sometimes you have to refine your implementation as you are working. Like the algorithm, the first algorithm is usually a very quick run through and understanding of the problem. Then you refine it, even more. And then as you are developing your code, many times you will find that there are a few things that you missed. But that's okay. Like this is the basic algorithm just to show that you're getting started, the logic of the program, and that you're starting to understand that you don't just jump in and write your code without getting a good understanding of the program and what's happening. All right, so I greet the user, then I set the item number, I get the item number from the user, then I have to set the price. So I already know here by doing this, I'm gonna have to have a variable for the account balance, I'm going to have a variable for the item number. I'm going to have a variable for the price. I'm going to have a variable for the number of gallons, and I'm going to have a variable for the total. And these are refinements that you will add later. It's not part of your algorithm, but doing your algorithm and planning very well with your algorithm will help you to realize the different variables you're going to need for your program. All right, so next. All right, so now I'm going to tell the user, I'm going to display the total and the account balance. So that's the next thing. I will display the total and the account balance. Then this is where we have a loop. So I'm going to go in here and check and see what's happening. I display the total and the account balance. Then I ask and get the amount to add. I add the amount. Then I display the total and the account balance. I ask and get the amount to add, and I add the amount. Then I display, so you can see that I keep doing this. I keep doing this as long as I don't have enough money. So that's where you're going to. So you're going to display the total and the account balance. You're going to check if the account balance is greater than or equal to the total. And again, you can do this however you want. So you're going to check if the account balance is greater than or equal to the total. And then you're going to, well, this is actually a loop. So we're going to say account balance greater than or equal to the total. And then we're going to say no, then we will continue to number 11. So the account balance is not greater than or equal to total. So no. Then we continue to 11. We will ask the user to enter a reload amount, get the reload amount, add the reload amount to the total. The total, and go to number 9. All right, so this right here is a loop. I'm just going to highlight this with a gray, it's fine. So this is a loop. So again, you can come up with your own understanding of how this works. And of course you can use a flow chart, but this is something that's going to continue until the user has enough money. We display the total and the account balance. We check, do they have enough? Is account balance greater than or equal to total? No, then we will continue, we will continue on to 11. 11 means get the reload amount. Again, for this assignment, you can assume the user will enter a reasonable reload amount. Get the reload amount, add the reload amount to the total, and then go back up to number 9. Display the total and the balance. Check if it is enough. If it's not enough, then we're going to get more, and we're going to continue to do this until number 11 is yes. So if it's yes, so no, we're going to continue to 11. Let's make this yellow, that's fine. And if it's yes, then you're going to go to number 14. So again, there are a lot of different ways in which to write your algorithm, and everyone has their own way of doing things, and that's perfectly fine. So this is my way, and so certainly, hopefully you understand what's going on here, and you can of course refine it more to add more features. All right, so let's get back here. So number 14, we're going to, so what's going to happen if there is enough money? Then you're going to subtract the total. I'm going to make this not gray anymore. This I do not want it to be gray. You're going to subtract the total from the account balance and tell the user they have made the purchase. Display the remaining balance and say goodbye. All right, so let's go over this. You greet the user, you set the account balance to 0, you display the options, you get the item number, you get the number of gallons, you calculate the total. That's a very big step. Then you display the total and the account balance. Is the account balance enough to cover the total? No, it's not. So you're going to continue, have them add a reload amount, get the reload amount, add the reload amount to the account. See, I already messed up. To the account balance, not to the total. Add the reload amount to the account balance and then go back to number 9. Make sure it's enough. Is it enough? No. Continue to do that until eventually, yes, it will be enough. Then when it is enough, you will subtract the total from the account balance, tell the user they have made a purchase, and say goodbye. So after I've done this, all I need to do is, of course, you guys hopefully know how to use a word processing like Word. But Word has, I think you have to, it tells you what to save it as. Let's go to the assignment. Last name, prog for algorithm. So I just save this as Sorgente, prog for algorithm. And Word has a very nice feature that you can now save as PDF. So I save that, and then it is a PDF file. Of course, if I feel like I want to edit it, you can save it as a Word document along the way until you are satisfied with your algorithm. And then you will submit the algorithm onto Canvas with the assignment. And that's it. That's all you need to do for Program 4 algorithm. And then for Program 4, which I'll do another video, is where you start to implement the code.